Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith of the In the Black VTF here at T3 Live with today's market wrap up, and it was really quite the day to trade. A lot of things on the move for natural buying and selling, earnings, all that kind of stuff, fun stuff. So I'm using UPro here today just because my SPY's got some bad ticks in it and all that kind of junk. So if you look at the UPro here, you can see just here this broadening formation here, which then expands and falls down into here, then it does it again, and you can see here just dropping down towards the lows at the end of the day, then inside off the bottom and back here. If you take a look at, blow this up so you can see it a little bit better, you can just see how these broadening formations work as continuation patterns, walking down a series like this. If you look at the 60, you're going to see this. The 60 here, you can see the slight lower lows off of that, and then slight higher highs off of that. And so when we started to come and expand the triangle here and start trending again and get hit, you can see we've been walking down for a while here. Then we go inside, and so oftentimes you'll hear me say inside 60 and up. And is that necessarily a buy signal? Well, it's certainly we want to look at things that are strong at this point. The problem is, even when it takes this out, is it going to be strong enough to take this out? Because it's not, otherwise it's completely still within this range, which gives you 120 minutes of inside of this. So then at that point, it's got to re-break that or that, which it did here, to break back down. So it was very organized in walking down. So when I say organized, we can follow it very simply by looking at when that went 60 up. Here it was an inside and went up, then went inside again. And so if it's going to reconfirm that move, it needed to take that inside bar to the upside. It did not, and then we capitulated a little bit down like that. Take a look at the bonds TLT. Real nice day for the bonds TLT, coming back up on daily triangle here. And the great thing, there was a lot of ways to get in stuff that was moving today. And when I say the ways to get in, people are like, how do I get in? This doesn't pull back. And you can see here, you got an inside 15 right there for a nice entry there to keep the TLT going for you. This morning I talked about watching the crude oil and the transports. And the USO proxy for oil, you can see here, another tough day of just walking down this. Not a full-blown disaster, but taking out yesterday's lows and walking down. And so then if we looked at the trannies, they should go up. And that's not what happened. Transports here, inside day and down for the transports. It's so far not the end of the world, but certainly we're paying attention to that. And who is it that is a transport and an oil stock, perhaps a rail, and you go to Union Pac, and all sorts of trouble here. And when it gaps down like this, we can look in the opening range and say, what do we see here? An inside 15 bar, bam, hit that, never stops out. And there's some other entries in there that was very nice as well. If you look at something like Southwest Air, the airlines most certainly should be up on this. And you had the gap on Southwest Air that should have held, and it didn't. And its evidence was right here, inside 15 and back into the gap. That's a problem going forward. We also had a natty number today, and here's a good example of what happens when a trade is already too crowded. So you have this number come out, fall apart right here, and so here, all sorts of trouble for the natural gas itself. But then you have the stocks that got jammed on the upside, as people most likely, from the evidence, were positioned for properly for the fall of natty gas, but because everybody's short, you get a move like this back up to the upside. And you can see this EQT was the first one to go, and on the 15s, bam, 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 here's inside 15 right there. Inside 15 here, RRC the same. So it's a good example of, right there's a nice 15er there, inside 15 here to get in. A good example of when the news comes out that is expected, if a trade is too crowded, that's what you got. So in the morning, we're looking at stuff that we're gapping as well. So CRUS, I talked about always trying to watch that opening range as opposed to, I'm taking the money right away. I'm taking the money right away. Wait for that opening 15-minute range. Say, nope, if it doesn't break that, I'm still in, or you can buy more here. So a nice move there. VRX, similar here, albeit it tried to go 15 and down, which might have stopped you out, depending on what you were looking at. If you look at this opening 60, then it went inside 60, tucks down, which is a reversal strat, which means that this is really just profit taking. Here, some stops right there, and back off to the races. If we take a look at LVS, the big old gap in reverse there, so that's nice if you're watching that opening range too. On a fiver, it was closer up in here, but then starts gapping in reverse. Anyway, one of the better ones here today was URI as far as this opening 15 here, never, ever even challenging it. And you had a lot of times, because even when it started drifting like this was really the opening 15-minute range. So you actually had an inside 60 here. So you had plenty of time. This 60, when it broke, it either needed to take that out or that out, and it certainly did and never came back. So nice trade there, too. A lot of people had that. Then we had a couple others. DST was real nice. Even missing this was no big deal, because then it goes inside 60 here, which gave us the measured move, a real nice move to the downside. If you take a look at the 30, here you can see how it slows down, goes inside 30, and then bam, measured move in a very short amount of time. And so when that happens, when measured moves exhaust, down, sideways, measured move, then we can look to reverse. And we certainly did on the 15. We're able to go here, get it short, and then inside 15 and back up for another $5 or $6. Real nice. And the technical mechanics of why that happens is that when you have a precipitous drop like this, you actually have you have natural sellers that are in there, right? You know that. And you've got guys that are trying to pick the bottom. So these guys are long against this stuff, maybe, if they're lucky. And the sellers are still here. Right, they're still here. They're just slowing down and seeing if they can pop it up and sell it into here, which they can't. Then they got to finish off those orders, get more aggressive. All the stops goes off, and they clean up the sell orders down in here. All the longs are gone. The sells have been taken out, and then you can retrace off an inside 15. And so that was real nice. The other one was ITEK. And this was real nice too. You gap and go up inside 15 here, and there was a whole bunch of fives to go after. Once it started running, it was real nice here, and inside 5 here and stuff like that. So you can watch it up into here. And when I talk about the reversal strat, it should definitely work on something very strong trending. And the reason it should is that any sellers are completely blown out of here, right? There's no sellers in this thing, because everybody's a buyer. And so when you see this inside 30 here, take these lows out, there's no reason to believe that's real selling. That's just profit taking, and people just can't take it anymore, and they want to have a prudent stop, so they did right here. They're gone. And then anybody who's shorting this thing is short against this, this, or this, and that gives you 3 levels of stops to get taken out, plus real buyers in there, and then you get that move like that. So there's some pretty nice stuff in there, but for tomorrow, certainly we got the gappers. We got Amazon coming out right now. Amazon doing this. If you go to the daily, Amazon blowing the numbers. Right now up $71 to $5.59, so that's off the charts, into the stratosphere, doing a Goog Netflix type of deal. We also, in the semiconductors, talked about the importance of how that's acting. SWKS up $6 here, and so SWKS on the daily coming back up into 105 area. That's going to be right in about in here. Okay, so it's not up as much as I thought. So it's up a little bit, but coming back up to there, but still watching how the SMH here handles this weekly break. It goes down, it's trying to get back up into here, into this inside bar, so we'll see how that acts. We also have Visa earnings out, and Visa right now up to 76, so more new highs, just an expansion of the range. Like anytime we see these things gapping into new highs tomorrow, we're going to look for a gap and go or a gap and reverse right out the chute. We're not going to guess. We also have right now Starbucks out. Starbucks up to 58. You know, it all looks muted when you look at Amazon, but new highs for Starbucks as well. Looking at Pandora, letter P. That's coming back in about 1440, so nothing significant there, but coming back up into that range. We got a few more that I'm sure will come out over the course of the night and in the morning. So that's going to do it for today. Basically, during earnings season, especially coming into a Friday, let's watch these gaps. Once again, gap and go or gap and reverse. Don't make a decision on it. Let the price tell you, and then try and hop on. Still going to watch this weakness in the trannies versus the oils. That's still very significant tell for the markets going forward. And that's going to do it for today. So I hope everybody had a great trading day. I know we certainly did. And have a great night. And don't forget, today is National Hot Dog Day, so get out there and get yourself a nice dog, would ya? All right, I'm Rob Smithy in the black of VTF here at T3 Live with today's Market Wrap-Up.